Uh, uh, uh. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you out in the world. This is the Lakers Fast Break. I'm your host, Joe Soro. I'm in the co pilot position going into the pilot position this evening because Gerald is now just arriving from his destination. And this is one of those trips that I wish I would have canceled. But we do have a service to run here. And yes, watching tonight's game was probably one of the worst ones I think I've watched in a while. So the Lakers played the Milwaukee Bucks today, and I think their entire team decided to take a vacation here, a short vacation. The Lakers lost tonight, 118-89 to the Bucks. There wasn't one starter really, except for Jackson Hayes tonight, and Lakers performed the way we all probably thought they would perform, which was not good. Uh, Jackson Hayes didn't shoot bad. He only played 16 minutes. Markieff Morris played a good amount of minutes. Didn't do much. Was 1 of 7 from three. Gabe Vincent had a horrible game. I was expecting at least for him to maybe get some shots going in his favor, but unfortunately that didn't happen. And Dalton Connect didn't start making shots until it was garbage time, which he has a habit of doing. Jordan Goodwin, unfortunately, is not a point guard. He did get a lot of the ball handling duties tonight, but he did his best and did what he could do. So, other than that, we're going to talk about a few things here. Bronny, I know people keep mentioning Bronny to me. Bronny played 30 minutes tonight, scored 17 points, career high. And coincidentally, with him and Shake, I think Shake was a minus 37 and Bronny was a minus 36. You don't normally see minus 36s and minus 37s on the plus minus area for certain players. But from a statistical standpoint and traditional statistics, Bronny James had the best game he's had as a pro. No, Load, I will not apologize. I'm sorry, but if you watched the game and struggled as much as I did, it was quite obvious that they were basically letting him do whatever he wants because what difference does it make? Will he improve? Yeah, he could improve and become a viable NBA player, but as of right now, he's just not a good player, and I'm not apologizing for shit. Darvin Ham got his revenge. Revenge for what? This is how his teams played when he was coaching. So maybe he got a glimpse of how bad he was watching the Lakers play, even though their team was half down. I don't understand why they didn't play Austin Reaves. I think that one puzzled me when I found out. And why did DFS sit? Why did Vanderbilt sit? I'm not sure I understand why you would sit those guys. If they had DFS, if they had Austin, maybe even a little bit of Vanderbilt, especially with the way the Bucks were playing, there might have been something there. I don't understand. I really don't. Not a fan of this, and I never will be. And I don't know how the NBA doesn't get kind of weary about this. Is there like a invisible cloak that's around the Lakers where they could actually literally sit half their team? I don't know. It's weird because they investigated. What was it? Utah, Philly. I don't know who it was last week. So why aren't they? Why isn't there news that they're looking at LA? I don't know. It's weird. This lineup is trash. No way this lineup going to get to the finals. Well, this is not a real lineup, Martin. This was not in any way a lineup of any kind of NBA fortitude. Matter of fact, this should really make it clear that the division from NBA starters and then NBA stars is larger than we think. We're talking about players that played tonight that are in the NBA. This is the highest level of basketball on the planet. Yet they looked like a team that I've played several times at the gym. That's how bad the difference is. That's how big the gap is. And it just you can't. There's deficiencies in talent that's so obvious. Guys that can't handle the ball, guys that don't box out well, guys that are missing dunks. I can't for the life of me understand, and I probably never will, because I've seen a few 7-footers in my time that have been absolute schleppers. Alex Lynn is definitely one of them. He's not the only one. I mean, I saw Kwame Brown play. I saw Rob Sacre play. Hell, I even saw Samaki Walker try to attempt to play basketball. And I still can't for the life of me understand how a 7-foot person can't dunk. Even if there's somebody in front of you, dude, you're 7 feet tall, and Alex Lynn is not a small guy. He's a big guy. He's not this lean guy like Jackson Hayes, maybe. But I don't understand what these guys are afraid of. They're not playing football. They're not running through. They're not doing a slant to the middle where they're going to get hit. You can't hit anybody in the NBA right now. Why would you miss a dunk with all that momentum and all that size? I don't know. I'll never get it. Let's see here. A bunch of negative net players playing. Expect a blowout. Yeah, negative net is true indeed. Tonight was a shite, J, mate, but oh well. Let's see here. What did Lloyd say here? Lloyd, yeah, let's see here. Why did Luka and Austin sit tonight? They both 26 years old, young players that shouldn't sit. Crazy Kobe wouldn't let LeBron win. Yeah, I don't know either. I can't figure out why Austin sat. I could sort of understand Luka if there was a calf issue. Apparently, it's an ankle issue. I don't even know if that's true. I don't think that. I don't think you needed to sit everybody. Why did DFS sit? I don't understand that. Why did DFS sit again? And Austin. I haven't gotten a clear, concise answer to that. But apparently, I was talking to Doobie, and we were, going back and forth. And I told him, "Hey, man, meet me at 3:00 behind the school gym," because he was starting to say some stuff that didn't make sense, at least to me. And he thinks seating doesn't matter. Doobie, if you're watching, seating doesn't matter. Haven't you been watching the show? Haven't you listened to what we've been saying? What does the history of the NBA tell you? We're not talking about the last 5 years. I'm talking about since 1947. 1947. Since the NBA became the NBA. Actually, technically, they were called the BAA at that time. Then they turned into the NBA when the NBL merged. That's where the Detroit Gems, who soon turned into a year later to the Minneapolis Lakers, won a championship in the NBL in 1947 and then went to the BAA in 1948, 49, and ended up winning a championship in the BAA that is now the NBA. They recognize the BAA title, but they don't recognize the NBL, although Wikipedia does. So a little history lesson for you guys. Since then, since the beginning of the NBA, there's only been one 6 seed and one 4 seed to win a championship. Everything else has been 3, 2, 1. That's a lot of years, guys. That's a lot of years. Not an 8, not a 7, not even a 5 have won a championship. So seeding is going to matter, especially when the Lakers are not totally equipped with this particular team. They're just not. Jackson Hayes is really a good backup center, even though he's been playing better with Luka. There's going to be a lot of exposure in the playoffs when things really matter. You guys got to be prepared for that. Can't expect Jackson Hayes to be doing what he's doing here in the regular season. Same thing with Jared Vanderbilt. Those guys get exposed. Their kind of game does not do well in a playoff series when people can hone in on your team. So you got to be ready for that. If they surprise and they play really well, then JJ likely combated that and did some good things, and everyone else around those players turned up the game a little bit, which is what I'm crossing my fingers for. Okay, let's see. Young advocate, that means it's possible at Joe. Let's see. Hold on. What did I say? Giannis' game is horrendous. They literally let him carry the basketball all night. That is true, Nick. They did let him carry. I saw so many carries in this game. I thought they were basically playing like the wheelchair guys. This very, very bad officiating tonight. Like, I don't know if there's ever really any good ones, but yeah, that wasn't too good at all. This might have been a D squad, Daniel. I don't know if it was a C squad. This might have been a D squad. The 4th seed winning at Joe. And the thing is with that 4 seed, that was the 1969 Boston Celtics that were the 4 seed that year. You know how many teams were in the playoffs that year? 4. 4. So take away they only had one series before you went to the NBA Finals in 1969, and I think there was only 9 teams in the NBA at that time. So only the elite teams in the top 3 win championships. That is, I guess we could be surprised, but do we want to play possibly Denver and Oklahoma City in the same playoff run? I think that's going to tax them out because you have to remember, folks, it's not just about the Western Conference. This is about winning the championship. The Lakers have to be as fresh as they can be. Considering what we saw tonight, it looks like they're trying to rest guys, right? So going through a three grueling series in the West that's very competitive, you want to limit your labor intensiveness. So if the Lakers can avoid playing a team like Denver that has quite possibly the MVP, or Oklahoma City, who's got possibly the MVP and a very good defense, if you can avoid playing one of those guys at the very least, you're not going to have yourself taxed as much toward the end should you make a run. They need that right now because they don't really have a starting center, and they don't have a they have Austin Reaves is a legitimate third player, but they don't have that kind of ball controlled third guy that can kind of use his athleticism to keep that lane from clogging. You know, if you've got a player that if you've got a team that's going to press LeBron and of course Luka, you want to have that quick guard that can get the ball and see daylight and head to the basket. And of course, if they collapse, then you got more open shots at that point as well. Okay, let me get to some of your guys' stuff here. Lloyd, I'm going to get back to you again because you always have these long ones. I know that they rather have healthy players, but they can rest when the play in the tournament starts. Players getting millions of dollars. Yeah, there's been some solutions, guys, that I've had to limiting the wear and tear to these wussies. I've campaigned for Adam Silver to make games more regional. They used to place teams 6 times a year. So what I would do is I would have them play 6 games against their division. Make the division matter. 6 games within division. So if you look at the Pacific Division, right? So you have Golden State, the Clippers, Phoenix, the Lakers, and Sacramento. So imagine if you played those 5 teams. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can bring this up real quick. Okay, let's say I'm sorry. You're going to play 4 of those teams 6 times. That's 24 games out of the 82 that you're not going to probably take more than an hour flight half the time. I think that's considerable. And if you can do that, then what is the excuse? Travel time, what is it? What would be the excuse after that if you're not traveling as much? It's one of the things that Phil Jackson said about the Bulls in the second three-peat was they were fortunate to have little travel time, and it was easier for teams in Chicago because they're kind of central. They're not really going all the way across the country. They're kind of right in the middle, so they were able to lessen their jet lag, if you will, and that helped them be more effective. Now, the talent and the determination of Michael Jordan and the team in general was a big part of that, number one. But I think they should limit the traveling, if anything. If they limit the traveling and make things more regional, I believe that would solve a lot of these problems. But what do I know? I'm just some butthead on a podcast on YouTube. Gerald, welcome.
What's up, my friend? Hey, I was setting up for the game today, doing all I need to do behind the scenes, and I see that, Luka sitting out today. Oh, Austin sitting out today. And I'm like, that's again, you're in the midst of the Western Conference race for the second spot to help get a good chance, an even better chance of getting far in the playoffs. And it's like you don't see the forest from the trees. And I just got pissed. And you know what? I got a call. Hey, I got a comp at the Angry Butcher at Sam's Town. You want to meet me there? Hell yeah. I'm not going to waste my time. Why should you waste your time, Joe? Why should we all waste our time if the Lakers are just going to go ahead and just give up, just take these L's? You know what, Joe? I was thinking about it while I was having dinner, and we could be all pissed, and we're all pissed, and everybody in the chat is mad. What about the people who pay good money for these seats tonight, thinking that Luka, Austin Reaves, we're going to be playing? LeBron is injured, so I get that. But how would you feel, Joe, if you paid good money to buy these very expensive Lakers seats at the crypt and just realize, and you show up and you realize none of the stars that helped this team get to where it's at are not playing tonight? It's frustrating. It's absolutely frustrating. So I said, you know what? I'm going to set everything up. You guys can watch. I'm not going to watch. I'm absolutely not going to watch.
Let me ask you this, Gerald. I'm not saying this to be derogatory. You're a little older. You're a little older than I am, so you're going to remember a part of the NBA that I don't remember because I was younger.
By all means.
Were there issues of this? Like you always have that older generation calling the new generation soft and all that, right?
Exactly.
What was going on in the 80s during the culture of the NBA? What were they complaining about at that point? Were they?
No, they weren't complaining about the travel. They weren't complaining about the games, the back-to-backs, the 3 nights, 3 games in 4 days, or anything like that. You didn't hear that. Like Joe, Randy Smith. When did Randy Smith get the all-times games consecutive streak? In what era did he do this in, Joe? Was in the 80s, correct? If I'm not mistaken, or 70s, 80s-ish?
Correct.
That tells you all you need to know. They showed up and they played. Now, later on in their life, their quality of life after they retire, could there be problems from it, accentuating issues from it? There might be, whatever. Okay, I think that maybe that's something that obviously people will have to look into. It's the quality of life for LeBron and Luka and all these guys that are getting days off and all that going to be better than what it was like for previous generations. Okay, that's. But then again, you're paid millions of dollars a season to play this game, and these organizations are just throwing away games. They're literally just throwing away, Joe, and just saying, here, we're putting this out on the court. It's a substandard product. We're going to have Bronny James score 9 points in the first half, and that's your leading scorer. How insulting that should be to a large majority of the fan base out there. It's just saying that, okay, we want to win, kind of, sort of, most of the time, but there are certain days where we're just going to say, you know what, the Bucks, go ahead and have it. Go ahead and have it. And that to me is wrong. Absolutely fundamentally wrong, because you asked me what it was like back in those days in the 80s or whatnot. And I don't like to go ahead and say, well, back in my day, it was better this and better that. But you have to say that this mentality of just giving up games like this when you're in the midst of getting second place in the Western, stupefyingly dumb. Stupefying is probably the best way I can say, because it just it makes me shake my head. Luka got a whole quarter off yesterday, Joe. A whole quarter off. Only played around 30 minutes. Austin Reaves played 32-ish minutes. These guys could have easily come back today and played a full game, especially with Lillard sitting out. It's deplorable, absolutely deplorable. And we're asked as a fan base to watch, support the sponsors. We're supposed to go ahead to go to these games, pay huge money for these tickets, and watch this crap, this absolute crap. And I wasn't having it, Joe. I wasn't doing it tonight. I put my phone right there at the table. I've got the updates on the score, because I ain't going to waste my time, watching this crap. Because if you're not going to care, guess what? Neither will I.
So Doobie, are you ready? Are you ready to get served a little bit here?
You will be served.
So, Doobie, you're telling me, I'm going to read this, okay, for the audio people. Doobie, our good friend, our made man, right?
Who's awesome, by the way.
It's not.
Who we
It's
love.
not. It's not today. You've been off your game today.
He hates ham normally on wins and losses.
But you're off your game tonight, bud. You're off your game. This is what Doobie said. This is 2025. Stop comparing other eras. LOL. Joker and Murray just sat back to back nationally televised games. This is the norm. Get rid of March. It's a useless month in the schedule of you, if you ask me. So your solution is to get softer. And you wonder why things have been pussified so much in every walk of life. And those same assholes who sit there and bitch and whine about accomplishments and not getting what they want, you end up finding out why they don't go where they want to go. Buster, this is the real world. The real world, you got to work your ass off. And you know what's crazy? You can work your ass off and still not get what you want. And that's the problem. That's the problem with that mentality. That's the problem. You want to get softer on top of it. What the hell are you talking about? You want to play this game? You want to take March off? Motherfucker, I'm not saying you. I'm saying in general. You then remove money out of your account. Oh, and I got one better for you. And I didn't think about this until literally right now. This wasn't premeditated. I didn't think about it before the show. You want to do this? You want to take out Jokic? You want to take up Jamal Murray on two nationally televised games? Guess what? I have an option for you, NBA and NBA owners. You are now going, I'm going to throw this in your face. If you're going to allow this to happen, you need to reimburse your fans. You reimburse those tickets and you gauge it. You gauge the price off of the fact that those two players are not there. Are people really going to pay? Let's say the average, I'm just going to use a round number here. Let's say the average ticket in Denver, or let's say an average ticket is $100 when Jokic and Jamal Murray are playing. When they don't play, the average ticket is $56, let's say. You should automatically reimburse them for that. They should start that system. And some of that, if not all of it, gets taken out of the players' checks too. How fast would they get strong, Doobie? How fast would they be bitching and whining? They'd all turn into Ben Simmons, doing dick, doing nothing, playing video games, and then bitching about getting his $20 million, having to go to arbitration and shit. You all want to just get paid to do shit? What the fuck? What about the people that worked hard? Every single arena in sports, every single arena, every single stadium has at least one person that will probably be there for the first time and the last time. You want to know why Michael Jordan was the best, guys? Sometimes it's just not about the talent. It's about the availability. And that guy built a legacy that no one will touch because of that, too. It wasn't just his talent. He was available, and he knew his availability would put him in a position and where he is. So you all want to be mediocre? You all want to be soft? Hey, that's on you. But don't come in here with this bullshit about, well, so the neighbor didn't mow his lawn. Why should I? Is that how you live your life, Doobie? Seriously, is that how you live your life? No, I am going to compare eras. I am. We should be better right now. The best medical, the best training, the best nutrition. These guys are making 100 times more money than they were making 30 years ago. Why are they not ready to play? You want to rest LeBron because he's been playing for 50 years? There's always exception to the rule. You want to sit down Luka because he does have a problem with his calf or his ankle, whatever the fuck is going down there?
It was the ankle this time.
Okay, I get that one. There's exceptions to all rules. But why the hell was Austin sitting? Why was DFS? We lost that game in Brooklyn because DFS sat. And I'll take it to the bank on that one. Why are they sitting? What the hell does Jared Vanderbilt do to get injured? What? What did he hurt? He hurt his wrist, not putting enough Crisco on his hands?
Dropping those balls out of bounds?
No. You are wrong. Your opinion is trash. Sorry, Doobie. Terrible, terrible take. And I wanted to make sure I was on the show to say this. Now, I might be a little hot right now, but I wasn't planning to be hot. Y'all lit the fire. Doobie pulled out a doobie, lit it, and started the fire. And that's facts. I was not hot after this game. I was a little kind of irritated, but I was all right. But then all of a sudden, Doobie decides to come at us, thinking he's a tough guy. You know, he's a little relaxed because we compliment him on stuff. But hey, man, I don't care how long I know you. I don't care how much I respect you and like you. You say something that doesn't make any sense, I'm gonna call you out. Yeah, Bando in his groin. Yeah, right.
Let me ask you this, Joe. When did you get there tonight for playback? Before I get to the Robert Wheeler question of the day, when did you get there on playback?
I was there from the beginning. I was going back and forth on another playback, but I was there pretty much the whole time.
Okay. Well,
I mean, I was in and out though. I wasn't at the beginning. I was in and out. Even during the game, I just had it on silent and just whatever. And then there were a few spurts in there that when I was talking to Sports Baby and that stuff. Yeah.
But essentially, you wasted 2.5 hours.
Absolutely.
Of your time.
Yeah. And
everyone out there, you wasted 2.5 hours of your time.
The silver lining in that is I have credibility with that. I can come back with something on that. I wasted 2.5 hours of this shit because, if somebody wants to yap about us not knowing shit, well, we watch shitty games, and it's always it's weird, Gerald. This isn't the first time I've watched a Laker game at home with Milwaukee, and I want to shoot myself figuratively. I don't know what it is about Milwaukee to LA. There was a game, man, like 10 years ago. I remember I was dying laughing. My buddy and I, it was like telepathy. I'm sitting there and I'm watching it and I'm like, my God, this game is literally putting me to sleep. And then I get a call and my boy hits me up. He goes, dude, what's up with this game? They won the game, so it's all good. But I'm like, what is this? What kind of product is this, man? Why is it always Milwaukee? But it was a waste of 2.5 hours. But at the same time, it's always easier when you have people around to talk to, and you kind of get away, you get out of the situation a little bit. You just a little dialogue.
But it's like you're taking a mulligan, but you're not really taking a mulligan. You're still suffering the consequences of it. Like last week, you talked about the Bucks. Last week against the Bucks, what did they do? They sat down Luka Doncic, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, Luka Doncic played in the Milwaukee game.
Oh, he did?
Oh, yeah,
45. He did. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Because that was a back-to-back.
Was that the game they played? Yeah, that was like one of the worst games.
They played the front side, but they didn't play in Denver. He didn't play in Denver the next night because Austin. Yeah, okay, sorry, but yeah, it's just the mentality, Joe. It's just the mentality of what they're doing when they have a chance to really gain some ground, and get some distance between the Denvers, the Minnesotas, the Memphises of the world, because Houston's got a little bit of an easy schedule. Their schedule gets tough right around the beginning of the month, guys. If you take a look at their schedule, Houston really gets tough at the beginning of the month. Right now, they've got some real cupcakes, so I don't expect them to lose too much in the near future. But with the Lakers, with one of the hardest schedules, period, for the rest of the season, they don't have a time to relax. And I just absolutely am just bewildered. Why do you rest Luka in the third quarter, at the end of the third quarter? Why do you rest him so long if you know you're not going to play him the next night? And I don't know. It just makes absolutely no sense to me why they were doing what they're doing. This change in philosophy. Like you said, I know that you say Pop started, in many ways he did, but this is like evolved out of control. The league has to do something more about it because, again, paying fans, we should be pissed off about losing 2.5 hours of our life that we could have, done other things with.
Gerald, you're wrong.
But
Okay, Doobie says so, so we must all bow down to Doobie.
Doobie, love you. You know, hates Hammond wins and losses, but sorry.
I hate giving wins away with well, that wouldn't make any sense actually.
Yeah, he just, again, Doobie, if that's what you want, if you just want to sit there and enjoy the Lakers throwing up an L for no reason, that's up to you. But how much longer as a fan base should we tolerate this? And all NBA fan bases that have players that sit out, how long do you want to tolerate? Keep shilling out your money, keep shilling out your time in order to do this. If you want to, by all means, but if I've got something better to do, I'm going to start doing it because it's just not fair to me and my life in order to go ahead. If you're going to want to go ahead and just take an L, I'll take an L as well. But Robert Wheeler has a question. Joe, Gerald, do you think the rationale for resting most of the Lakers starters was because they knew the Bucks would be a tough game regardless, so rest and get an easy win next game against the Baby Bulls? They sat out Lillard. So don't tell me it couldn't have been a tough game. The Lakers are the second best team at home in the Western Conference. They play with such more confidence at home, Robert. Why would you want to throw any games away? That makes absolutely no sense, Robert. No sense at all. Get the wins at home because you don't know how good you are on the road. Absolutely no sense. Absolutely no sense, Joe. Sorry, Robert, but yeah.
The issue also is that the Bucks have been playing horribly lately. They've won. I think they lost 5 of 7.
They had that closed door meeting between Giannis and Lillard and all that about their offense, supposedly, and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. The Milwaukee Bucks with what they had yesterday, the Lakers would have likely won today.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't playing that well today. They weren't. I think the Lakers win it. If they have the team from last night, but I guess we're never going to know.
We're never going to know.
Looking at the standings right now, so they lose a game on the Rockets.
Yeah.
And
we're back down to fourth place.
They're back down to fourth. So now they may think, okay, we're going to play the Rockets twice at home. We can get at them when we play them one-on-one. I'm gonna give him a little bit of a reprieve here, just because Doobie, he's probably sad right now. He's probably smoking a Doobie to get the stress away, and I understand that, Doobie. But
we love you, Doobie. But
I don't want to see this again. I don't want to see this again this year. And they haven't stopped talking about Bronny damn James like I'm some kind of, like he did some kind of game 5 flu game tonight, guys. Guys, did you watch the game? I unfortunately had to watch the game. They just basically sagged off him the whole time. Of course he was going to make shots. I'm just saying, like, what do you want me to say? You want me to apologize? Apologize for what?
Did you see his plus minus?
He was a -36.
-36, guys.
And that stat is very kind of weird in itself. Sometimes it doesn't tell the whole story, but when it's in the 30s, it tells a story. Okay, let's go to Joe Soro fanboy. Why did we go all out on a Denver team with no Murray, no Jokic? Reaves was stat padding in the fourth, but can't play today. That's a good point. And the thing is, for the first time this year, Gerald, for the first time that I can remember, maybe it happened and I don't remember, but I remember every game pretty much. This is the first time last night where they didn't have a star, a LeBron or a Luka, sit an entire fourth quarter, and they had it last night. Mm-hmm. So what the hell was the point of him sitting the whole quarter?
I just said that. Yeah, I just said that. What is the point?
So I'm confused. Doobie, can you address that at the very least, since we're not bringing up 1995? Tell us that. Make that make sense. So when you can, let us know. I don't know. I don't. It doesn't make any sense to me. Ankle
and
management. Okay. Ankle
and
management.
next week, Joe, they've got another back-to-back in Indiana and Chicago. Guess what's going to happen when they go to the United Center?
Are they gonna sit 8 guys because their feelings are hurt?
Probably. And
And
guess what's
and
going to happen when? Well, hold on. They've got 2 home games on the 3rd and the 4th at Golden State and New Orleans. Guess
the
what's
si-
going to happen on New Orleans against New
so
Orleans?
so here's the irony in this. Are you ready, Doobie? This one's gonna hurt. This is probably gonna be the guillotine for you. Okay. You're sitting there telling us for a year you hate Darvin Ham in wins and losses. Yet you have just adopted the Darvin Ham mentality of the NBA. You don't care about regular season games. You don't care about those 1 or 2 games that you just feather away because you're worried about what's going to happen in a month. Especially when I've already told you, and we've already told you, how sensitive it is when it comes to seeding. You're not gonna pay attention to what we're saying? You think what we're saying, we're doing this for our health? There's a precedent, guys. And this is when they had 8 teams, when they had 9 teams, when they had 22 teams, when they had 26 teams, when they have 30 teams. It doesn't bode well for a championship unless you get the top 3 seeds. Other than one or another one in its history, guys. There's only been 1 4 and 1 6 that has won a title. The NBA has been around since 1947. That's what we're basing our information on. We're not sitting here trying to be right. We're going by what has happened. It is difficult to win championships when you don't have home court. I don't
But
care
Joe,
what. Yeah, go ahead.
Joe, but according to Doobie, it's just one game. Just
Well,
like the Laker Tom saying, it's just
one game. Okay. You have no right. You've lost all your Darvin Ham hate because you have just turned into Darvin Ham. That's the Darvin Ham way of thinking. You have become Darvin Ham, Doobie. You should change your name to Darvin Ham. You've lost Doobie. Doobie's gone. Doobie's gone. And I think it's something you need to just come to grips with. Am I wrong?
I mean, when
You
you
all sound
have those
scared of me.
games, Joe,
We're
you have those
scared.
games.
We want guys to play, but we're scared.
Yeah.
We want guys to play, but we're scared.
That's just ridiculous. Joe, how many games have we thrown away this season? You know, the Orlando's, the Atlanta game, the Brooklyn game. You know, we don't have any room for error. I don't
Hold
think
on.
some of Doobies just doesn't get it.
Hold
He
on.
doesn't get it.
Nazgul God, health is more important than seeding. Health is more important than seeding.
I just saw that.
Good luck. You must have not watched or listened to anything we've said. So it doesn't look like it's going through their heads. Okay, go ahead and have that mentality. I'm sure if Michael Jordan had had that mentality his second year in the NBA when he broke his leg, I'm sure he would have been, a prominent player in his career. Anyways,
And then Doobie's like, what does home court matter if you can beat everyone?
Okay, hold on, man. We're absolutely frying Doobie here. Hey, Doobie, you want to know what the road record for the Lakers are this year? Are you ready? 15-18. So where did you pull that out of your culo?
And guess what, Joe? After the Bulls game, they have 4 games on the road.
Where are you pulling that out of? Your ass. Culo, if you don't know what culo is, guys, for the Latin peeps, you all know what that is. It's out of your ass. 15-18. 15-18, and you're going to tell me that they're going to win on the road? Role players and players that are role players who are starting due to default don't play well on the road, and they definitely don't play well on the road in the playoffs. These are facts with a CTS, not an X. So It's a mentality, guys. It's a mentality. If you're going to keep sitting here telling me we're soft, you're projecting at an optimum level. The projection is hilarious, and the hypocrisy is even more hilarious coming from our guy Doobie. Seriously, it's like a reverse. It's like a reverse. You know who you are, Doobie? You are the parent that would smoke in front of their kids cigarette and tell their kids don't smoke, it's bad for you. That's what you've done to yourself here. That's what you've done to our group. And I'm absolutely hurt. I'm hurt here in my heart. It's sore now. See, ER had something to say here. ER, Joe, let Gerald speak and take a bathroom break. No, I'm hosting the show, so you go take a bathroom break and shut the fuck up.
ER's
tell me what the fuck to do on my show. Don't tell me what to do on our show. What is this? What are you, a producer now? Go ahead, Gerald. Go ahead. Indulge him.
All I got to say is, again, what a waste of time, Joe. It's a waste of our time. It's a waste of their time, the team's time. But most importantly, it's the waste of the people who pay big money for those seats time. And that to me is bad. I mean, we on our playbacks mock those people, the ones with the handy cam, and they do the kiss cam, and they do the jumping and the waving, the dancing and all that stuff, Joe. We make fun of them all the time. But you and I both have to admit, they pay a lot of money for those seats, Joe, and they deserve a product out on the court that should be reflective of that. And when it's not, they need to be called out on it. The league needs to be called out on it. And you guys are worried about health over seating. Unfortunately, if the seating is too low, the odds are against you. And I mean really against you. And if you guys don't get that, that's up to you. You're not going to get it. That's just something that we can't, no matter how many times we beat it verbally into you, you're just not going to get it. So it's simple. The Lakers need all the home games they can get because they play substantially better this season at home than on the road. It's just that simple.
Christian, it's starting to get that way. I have noticed not only in our chats, but I'm noticing in our comments for our shows, there's been some people coming after us.
Yeah.
Especially me. I guess everybody thinks I'm a butthead. Is the truth bothering you, folks? Is the truth bothering you? Is the tone bothering you? What is it? What's bothering you? Tell me. I'm here. I care. I really do. Takes me back to 2013-18 years when Kobe was old, injured, then retired. Yeah, well, Kobe was the Troy Polamalu of basketball. He played like a maniac. Anyone who watched Kobe Bryant play had to have recognized that it was not going to end well. Kobe was a psycho. But that's part of why we loved him. And in all honesty, I'd rather have a player have a 15-year career where he's at his highest level than to watch 20 years of kind of half-assing it because they want to hope and wish that they have enough juice towards the end. If you can't have enough juice towards the end after 14, 15 years, what's the point? Then you're just hanging on. The system doesn't allow you to play like that. There's not enough. If it was 26 teams in the NBA, maybe. If the hard cap, which is what they have now, really, it's a pseudo hard cap. They didn't make it so difficult to field a roster that has some depth. Then what's going on here? I actually think the NBA should bring back 5-6 rounds again, Gerald. With the amount of talent that's starting to come out in free agency, might as well have another 3 rounds again. Then at that point, you might have a chance. You might have a chance to build depth through that draft instead of having to worry about the free agent market and not really knowing. Hey guys, I'm just trying to figure out solutions here. See, you can't sit and complain about something, right, without bringing solutions. Because I could sit here all day, oh man, this sucks and that sucks. But there needs to be a solution. I had a good friend of mine who reiterated that it's a common sense thing, right? Well, dude, if you're going to complain about something, at least bring a solution. I'm trying to bring solutions, yet you guys are sitting here going, hey, let this other guy talk, or hey, this is the NBA today. No, it's not. Or let's take March off. What the fuck does that even mean? Take March off? Okay, take the money out. Let's see how fast the NBA player will want March off. How many games do they play in a month, G? 16 at least?
Yeah.
Right?
Around that.
Okay, so prorate that, folks, and then go talk to the players and let them know. Let's say a player is making $100,000 a game. They're going to say no to $1.5 million, a little over $1.5 million? Fuck no. What are you, nuts? But they want to sit down for a couple games, right? You tell me, does that sound right to you? If I go, I have an order I got to run tomorrow. The guy needs the order tomorrow at 12 o'clock. What do you think that guy's going to do if I call in tomorrow, just like we were coming in today, going, ooh, yeah, I'm going to have to disagree with you there. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to deliver that. What do you think is going to happen? You think that guy's going to work with me ever again? It's a Friday, too. You know what that means, Gerald? That means, because I told him this before. He's a regular customer. I told him, I said, Miguel, you order this sucker on Friday. You don't have anything to worry about for the weekend. Just make sure you hit me up on Thursday because I need at least a day. Because he would call me on Fridays. And I'm like, can't call me on Fridays. Now, I got the ins and outs. I can go make it happen. But the problem is there's traffic on Friday. It's a pain in the ass. I'll make it work because you're my boy, blah, blah, blah. But I said, call me on Thursdays or definitely Wednesday. Guess what? He did that. And now it's my responsibility to get that product there. I have enough time to do it. Now imagine me calling him tomorrow morning saying, I'm sorry, I can't do it. He's fucked. He can't work tomorrow. He can't work Saturday, and he can't work Sunday. Now what? Oh, it's okay, Joe. You need to rest because you were working Monday through Thursday. How stupid does that sound? How stupid does that sound? Oh, and by the way, I forgot to tell you, I'm keeping the money. I'm not going to deliver it when I'm supposed to, but I'm going to keep the money. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, I am injured. Joe Soro fanboy. I had a cortisone shot yesterday in my shoulder. No joke. Swear to God. Now what? Now what are you going to say? Come on, guys. This is a no-win situation for you guys. There's nothing you can justify on this. Nothing. At all. There's nothing. Go make a pizza, Joey, and let Gerald talk. No. I told you, I'm hosting the show tonight. And when Gerald hosts the show, he talks as well. So, sorry. Gerald was busy tonight. Enjoying his evening. Actually enjoyed his evening. Had a good meal, Gerald?
Oh, Angry Butcher and Sam's Town, guys.
Maybe. Hey, for him, it was probably a good thing. But in the end, here we are. We're wanting this thing to work, and there's nothing that makes it work. There's nothing that brings you down when there's not participation, when it should be. So, let's see here. Doobie, I'm gonna give Doobie another chance here. Doobie, I'm gonna give you another chance. Hold on, let me put this up. Okay, so why the Malone? Oh my God, I'm done with you. I'm done with you, Doobie. I'm done. I don't want to hear about the Denver Nuggets, dude. I don't want to hear about the Denver Nuggets. I don't give a shit about the Denver Nuggets. Fuck the Denver Nuggets. Why are we even talking about them? Well, Mark Malone or Mike Malone and Michael Malone. So what? I don't care what the Denver Nuggets do. I will give the near now. So oh man, that's funny. See what you mean? I don't know what you mean, Dewey. You got me all twisted up, man. Sorry. I'm done.
Sam had the good comment. Why not at least stagger the rest to give us a chance?
I'm still trying to figure out why AR, DFS, and Vando were sitting. I don't understand why they were sitting.
Vando plays 15 minutes a game, Joe.
I understand that. That's more obvious on why he didn't play. Why didn't he play? And why did you sit Luka in the fourth quarter if you weren't going to play him tonight? What was the point? I don't know. I don't. It's unprofessional. If they're really injured, I get it, but then rest, really, guys, rest. And at a time, if you were a second seed and you had a 5-game lead, I would understand that a little bit. The people that are going there to watch a Milwaukee, think about this, guys. This whole thing with LeBron, and I'm not trying to attack LeBron here, but this would be my retort instead of all the idiots that he talks to, like Stephen A. Smith, right? So if LeBron had come to me in an interview and it said, "Why would I want to be the poster boy of the NBA when all they do is criticize us?" The first thing I would have said to him, I said, "Well, LeBron, let me throw this at you real quick, and you tell me what you think." People bought tickets to tonight's game to see you. At the time, we didn't have Luka, AD, and Giannis. You guys are all future Hall of Famers. You're MVPs. You guys are the face of the NBA. You didn't give a shit about those people who paid money to come see you, who actually looked at the calendar probably at the beginning of the year and said, "I want to go see Giannis in LA because he only comes to LA once a year, and they're going to play LeBron and AD." Instead, what they saw is they saw Giannis play Jordan Goodwin. I'm sorry, with no disrespect to Jordan Goodwin, but they didn't buy those tickets to watch Jordan Goodwin or Gabe Vincent. So when you talk about the face of the NBA, stop worrying about what Stephen Ass Smith is saying and start figuring out why you're getting all this heat, because your participation isn't there for the fans to want to give you anything. And maybe in the end, it doesn't matter. Maybe those guys don't really give a shit either. Because it looks like Doobie doesn't give a shit. Right? He didn't spend the money. No one cares. Well, that's on you, right? Okay. If us giving a shit about people getting ripped off on a ticket is bad, then I guess we're bad people.
Let me ask you this, Joe. How long has the 82 game season been around? Decades, correct?
It's been around pretty much since the beginning, yeah.
Yeah. So the only thing that has changed is how teams approach those 82 games. And from what it was once to what it is now, it's completely different. And the problem is the fans are still paying for each and every one of those 82 games. Just like in MLB, 162 games. The Dodgers still have 160 games left to go. In the case of NFL, they've added a game. So now it's 17 games during the regular season. It's all about more with less. But in the case of the NBA, that 82 has been constantly the same, has been consistently the same for decades. It's just this new mentality of how it's approached as far as, with whatever technology they're using, analytics, et cetera, that's fine. I understand, I get that, but isn't the biggest number right now to the Lakers, and the most important number should be the number 2, and that's second place in the Western Conference, because right now you don't have it. And I'm not sure at this point, with games that they throw away like this, if they ever will this season. I really don't honestly know. I honestly don't know if the Lakers will get to the number 2 spot. Houston has some really winnable games over the next couple weeks until the early part of the month. They could really run away with it, ahead of Denver, ahead of the Lakers, and ahead of Memphis. And you know what? If they do, it'll be games like this. The reason why.
Doobie, I pay a satellite bill that pays for that channel every month. And also look at their advertisement. I'm never going to buy a Hyundai. I actually mentioned this on playback. I think I'm not a Hyundai guy. and I'm not gonna buy the only commercials these assholes put on there is either fast food shit, dope that the pharma people are slinging, and then car advertisements. Pretty much all three things that are destroying America. Paying for cars, having car payments, doing dope that makes you more sick, and eating fast food so that you need those drugs to get better. You see what's going on, guys? It's a conspiracy. You know what I mean? You don't want me to talk? What the fuck am I doing here then? You want me to just sit here like this? Gerald asked me to host.
Yeah.
This wasn't something where I barged in. I never barge in. I am asked to participate, just like I was asked to participate from the beginning.
And I ask everybody, you know me, I send out the email to send it out to our regular staff and the regular crew. None of them wanted to come up on stage tonight to talk about this garbage. Why is that?
The thing is, it kind of it correlates with. I'm not dogging my crew here, but
no, because they didn't want to deal with it either, my friend.
They didn't want to deal with it, but at the same time, we have a duty. I mean, there's 60 people in here.
Yeah,
you're expected to show up. Now, I want you, Doobie. I know I said I was going to stop picking on you, but you keep bringing up things, and you're bringing me back. How would you guys feel if we never showed up when we lost? After a while, you're going to start going somewhere else. Right? Right? How about this? How about if we don't show up when we win, too? You guys are going to go somewhere else. You see where we're going with this? If you can't see it after what I just said, then you're just in denial and you just want to be right in your own head. We're about fairness in the end. You're paid to do this. And the Lakers are in a position where there's really no margin of error, and the history of the game has said that you have to be in a certain place to have the best chance to win. The Lakers are doing two things right now that is virtually impossible to do if they don't set themselves up the correct way. Number one, they don't get a top 3 seed. It's unlikely they win a championship. And they also made a midseason trade, which is extremely rare to win a championship when you do a midseason trade with an impact player. Now, I'm not talking about a role player. I'm talking about a legit starter. It's very rare. In recent memory, the two trades have been that won championships. The year they acquired the starter was Rasheed Wallace in 2004 and then Clyde Drexler in 1995. And I don't remember anyone else before then. Might have been in the 60s and 50s. I'd have to do some research on that. But those are only the two that I can remember in 34 years. Joe is interesting, stubborn. Hold on, let me see what Sharon's saying. Wonder if she's dogging me too. Joe is interesting, stubborn, and opinionated, but keeps it.
She's got you down to a T, doesn't she?
That's a good one. That's a good one, Sharon.
Jared Vanderbilt, 18 minutes last night, Joe. 18.
Yeah, but, his groin. He couldn't catch the ball because of his groin, right? Hold on,
was
sports
Koloko
baby.
sitting out too? I think Koloko was.
Oh, that was that. See, if Koloko had played, it would have been a different story, right?
Yeah.
Luke and Austin don't heal as easy as the African-American players. It's funny. Let's see what Sam said. Hold on. By the way, Sam, say hi to your wife for me. If she's listening, hello. How you doing, Mrs. Khan? Joe was load managing the last time we played Milwaukee a week ago until I started talking about his boy Kobe. What was I doing last week, G? I was somewhere else, wasn't I?
Yeah, I think you were.
Yeah. And how many shows have I missed this year? Like 2?
Yeah, at the most.
I don't load manage, dude. If I load manage, I don't make any money. I'm trying to do it. Oh man, that's funny. You're a funny guy. You guys are funny tonight, except Doobie. Doobie is not funny today at all. Oh man.
Lloyd Avenue says, "What happened to the players that love the game? The Allen Iversons, the Kobe's, the LeBrons, the Jordans. These are the players that love the game now. You got players that love the bench." Well, LeBron, you don't seem to have to twist his finger, to ask him to sit down on back-to-backs or what have you in this era, Joe. So would you still put the LeBrons in that category, or because he seems to be willing to acclimate himself to the current times?
So Hines Ward used to take, I think it was Thursdays off later in his career. Hines Ward is the former great Steeler, great receiver back in the day. There is an exception to the rule, G. And LeBron has a unique exception. You're talking about a guy that's played 22 seasons. And he's kind of put in the work, and he is the exception. And he wanted to play 82 games this year. It was one of his goals, but J.J. Redick didn't want him to. And there's nothing really you can do about that, right? And maybe he would have busted a wheel and might have been the right call in the end. And I'm not really upset at LeBron for not playing. He's legitimately injured. What I'm upset about is why Austin Reaves, DFS, and Vanderbilt didn't play. If you wanted to, if Luka really had an issue, and we've talked about how you can tell Luka sometimes is kind of walking funny. Maybe he is laboring a little bit and wanted to sit him down. But I don't understand why they sat half the damn team. I don't understand that part. That doesn't make any sense to me.
I mean, I'm looking
at LeBron. I'm sorry. Go ahead, G.
Well, I was just gonna say I'm on Twitter looking at the highlights from last night and the interviews with Mike Trudell after the game, and DFS seems pretty good to me. Doesn't seem to be complaining about anything that's sore or needing for him to have a reason to be sitting out tonight.
Well, hating, Christian, hating is part of society, and it's always been there. It's just we know about it now because there's a forum for idiots to go on and make it public. I don't think people have changed much. Technology has exposed these people. And what you get a lot of in this world too is you get a lot of people who act like they know what they're talking about just because of how they feel, and then they'll run into that video or that meme or that book, whatever publication it is, whatever TV show, whatever TV clip. They'll hear some jackass say something that's in line with their thoughts, and now it's all fact. And then it just continues to blow up. Plus, you have bots creating problems, just kind of starting fires and people turning into moths to that fire. The argument versus who's better and who's this and who's that. The thing is, in life, much like when you live at home, like I've used this example a few times, folks. For those of you who are married, have a significant other, have a sister, have a brother, have an uncle, have a dad, have a mom. There's no one in your life that does things you like 100% of the time. Why is this so different? Why is it that if I criticize LeBron one day, I'm a LeBron hater, and then when I compliment him, I'm a nut hugger, LeBron? It depends.
You're a LeBron fan.
It depends on the day. LeBron is a human being. He's going to do stupid shit, and he's going to do good shit sometimes, just like all of us. We're just here to be the messengers of what we see. Another example, and I'm putting Doobie under the bus, 2 buses now. Doobie, before tonight, very complimentary. We are there telling him, hey, you go, buddy. You go, my friend. And then he completely collapsed tonight. I mean, in a horrible way. I'm talking about Mitch Williams serving Joe Carter a game-winning home run in the World Series bad. So much so that me coming at him isn't making me even feel bad. Usually I'd feel bad. Oh, man, he's really messing up here, man. I feel bad. But I got to tell him the truth. I'm not even feeling bad. This is terrible, Doobie. You need to sit down after tonight and really think about what you've been doing. Like, really reflect. Email us. We're here for you, man. We'll help you.
I mean, it just is so laughable just to have, just to expect an audience to watch this show, just expect it for an audience to pay money to watch this crap. It's absolutely terrible. These guys, less than 24 hours prior, were having fun. They're talking back and forth with the press and post game. Didn't mention anything about anything hurting or anything like that. And of course, back to back precautionary having them.
Well, I'm gonna comment on this, and then I'll go to what Christian said here. I'm gonna throw you guys a bone of positivity here. If the Lakers end up getting the 2 seed after all this, then everything's okay. Then we were over dramatic. How about that? Would that make you feel better, everyone? Can we all be friends again? You're right. Anyways, if it works out in the end, hey, cool. But my concern at this moment is history and what history says. History says the higher the seed, the better chance you win a championship. History says when you do a trade the way the Lakers did, you have to have everything go perfect for you to win it all. So that's what I'm more concerned of. I've said this, and I've said it several times. I'd rather have you kill yourself to get to where you need to go and come up short because your body breaks down versus quitting because it sets a bad mental precedent. That's how I look at it. If it's wrong to you, it's wrong to you. For me, it's right. That's how I've always lived my life, and it's always worked out for me that way. So Christian says, I know what you mean, Joe, but these psychos really hate Kobe. So the hate for Kobe is something that not only it's as Laker fans, at least for me, for the last 34 years, I've been hated on for the Lakers my entire Laker life. Dodgers, I've been hated on my entire life. Even when the Dodgers were ass, people still hated the Dodgers. So the hating on my teams, hating on our players, it's not something that's new. And it really is irrelevant on what people's opinions are on the talents of Kobe Bryant. Anyone who saw Kobe Bryant play and marginalizes what he did, to me, has absolutely no room to be taken seriously. Yes.
Chris.
Yes, Chris. I want the Lakers to get home court in the first 2 rounds. I believe wholeheartedly, if the Lakers have home court in the first 2 rounds, it jumps up 20% in the percentages of winning a championship in my book.
Because they're just that much better at home.
They're better at home and in the playoffs, home court advantage. And LeBron, if you guys want to look at the history of LeBron James, you guys, are you ready for a compliment for LeBron James? Are you all going to call me a LeBron stan now? Are you ready? Look at the history of LeBron's home court records. I don't have the exact record, but when he has home court in the big series, he usually wins those series. Just like Kobe, Gerald, when Kobe won game 1, he's undefeated. He has never lost a series when he's won game 1. Imagine that. That's a statistic that doesn't get talked about enough. Kobe essentially, I think it's 24-0. I think I have to look at. I think it's 24-0. Kobe is 24-0 with Shaq, without Shaq. It doesn't matter who's on that team. When Kobe Bryant wins game 1, he's unbeaten in his entire 20-year career. Why don't you talk about that stat? That means when he wins game 1, that series is over. That's crazy. That's a crazy stat. At least that, I mean, come on. I mean, can you argue against that? One game and it's closed. You're done. It's almost like watching Kershaw in his prime. If you got one run as a Dodger, the game was over. If Kershaw was pitching, and it happened so many times. But y'all don't want to believe me, man. All you guys want to do is criticize and make me feel bad, and then I gotta get off air, and I gotta go like stand outside and look at the stars and the moon to reflect. Joe, how dare you compare Kobe to LeBron?
Here we go.
Did I compare them?
No, I wanted to get back to Doobie.
All right, go ahead. So guys, just so who was it that was pissed that I was talking too much?
ER.
You got his name already. ER. Okay. I'm gonna go in the emergency room for you here, ER. I'm gonna let Gerald.
He's gone now. He's already
gone.
Now.
He finally left. Okay. I'm gonna switch over to Gerald and the host, and I'll sit here and just stand like a statue.
No, I'm just going to bring it back to you anyways. Because Doobie said, "See, our fundamental disagreement tonight is I don't believe seeding matters that much this season, and maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think anyone can beat us besides OKC." Now, be that as it may, Doobie, the facts are the facts, and Joe has been bringing up. We did research. What was it, about a week ago, on this during the course of the show, and brought up exactly by seeds. By the number, which ones have won. So what is the record? What is the amount of years? What's the number that I think that people need to be aware of that we keep on saying on this show?
As far as seeding?
Yeah, as far as
there's only been 2 years in what will be the NBA started in 1947, 48. No. I think it started in 47. So we're talking about almost 80
47, years. Because I've got a jersey that says 47.
We're almost 80 years in. Almost 78 years, I think. 78 years. This is the 78th NBA season. There's only been 2 teams other than in the top 3 that have won a championship. And even those, the 3 seeds, I think there was only 3.
It's a 4th and a 6th, if I'm not mistaken.
So 3 seeds. 1 4 seed and 1 6 seed. 5 years. 5 years out of that 78. 5 out of the 78. That means 73 years you have to either have the 1 or the 2 seed to win. That's why that 2nd seed is so important. It's very important. It matters until it doesn't.
John, feel better, my friend. I know that he said he's taken ill, so I'm hoping you feel better.
John who? John Costa?
John, yeah.
Oh, wow. What happened?
He says he has COVID.
Oh, shit. Here we go. Mark and his G-strings. Mark, we're talking basketball here, homie.
But then again,
if you're going to talk about G-strings, at least send us a picture.
Mark, it's just a thing. Why does Mark have to go ahead and watch and sit through a game like this? He's got Surfer's Paradise right there next to him. Surfer's Paradise. Some of the most beautiful scenery, beaches, and other things in the entire planet. Why does he have to waste his time when the Lakers aren't going to go ahead and put out even a team that has, any chance of winning? It just, why? Go do other things, guys. When the Lakers don't give a crap, why should you? I'm tired of it. Where we're asked to sit through these games 2.5 hours of our time. Could be spending time with family, could be doing other things, could be being productive, could be just enjoying something else, could be watching a movie, playing video games, reading a book, something else besides sitting through this garbage. Because you and I, once you saw that Austin, DFS, Vando, and Luka were all sitting out tonight, once you saw that, you guys all, each and every one of you, down deep inside, you knew we had no chance of winning tonight. When you heard Giannis Antetokounmpo was going to be in the game, and none of the Lakers stars or even, regular rotation players for the most part were not going to be in there. You knew there wasn't going to be a chance.
No, there wasn't. This was probably the most given win I've ever seen.
And Young, again, he's the Doobie mentality. It's one game.
It's one
the
game.
Laker Tom mentality.
Okay. Well, it's a Darvin Ham disease. It's a loser's disease, and circumstances matter. If they were 5 games ahead of all these teams, I would be willing to buy that. But this team has not, they don't have a margin. They just lost 4 in a row on the road, and their road record sucks. And yet somebody is telling us that they can win anywhere. Well, forget about the past. You're right. How about now? How about this year? Can I use this year, Doobie? Can I use at least this year as a barometer? I mean, you want to host a show?
Young Advocate says once you saw that they were out, you could have made other plans. I did make other plans once I saw that they were out. I had somebody said, I've got the Angry Butcher at Samstown. You want to go? We all said yes. Let's go. The hell with this.
Bucks looked like trash tonight, but it didn't matter because they played at least 5 players tonight that probably don't belong in the NBA. But hey, look, apparently some guys think it's not a big deal, so we'll see how it plays out. We gotta wait. We gotta wait.
And then you guys are now talking in the chat. Well, you guys worried about the Warriors coming up on you? Well, they had the Steph Curry. I watched that while I was at the Angry Butcher. Watch him take that hard fall, pelvic contusion, I think. So we've seen did the AD have a pelvic contusion? Yeah, he did. So he was out for a while with that one. So maybe that's a week and a half.
Houston Rockets have won 8 in a row. Oklahoma City has won 4 in a row. Clippers have won 4 in a row.
And the Houston Rockets have got cupcakes on their schedule for the next 2 weeks before it gets tough for them.
Yeah. And you're likely going to have the top 8 teams. I'm looking at Minnesota right now.
Alan, this is what I'm saying the entire show. This is our point. We want number 2 seed. And when you have games that you throw away like tonight, you are not going to get the number 2 seed. Or the odds are long against you. I'll put that.
Yes, Doobie, we do watch the other games. That's how we know a lot about these players. I don't watch as much as I used to because I have to work, but I watch. I watched the Indiana game today. I was home.
I watched
early.
The Warriors almost choke against, even without Curry there in that second half, but watched them almost choke.
Are you questioning our knowledge?
Toronto Raptors.
Are you questioning our knowledge of the NBA players? Who do you think can beat us in the West? I'll tell you this, Doobie. If we face Denver in Denver again with them starting in Denver, that's going to be a scary series. That's a scary series. Oklahoma City can beat them. Oklahoma City has a really good defense, right? Everybody loves defense, right?
And see, Alan doesn't get it. He says, I don't get why people think seeding does not matter. Well, yeah, you get it. I'm sorry, Alan. Correction. You do get it. Seedings always should matter because the numbers are there to back it up. Who was it? Was it Sharon? I think she was asking,
no, Doobie, don't try to escape from what you said. Don't try to escape from what you said. You should know that we know the other 29 teams and the basic stuff from those 29 teams. Some we know a lot about, the ones that they play regularly. Maybe I might not know a lot about Orlando, but we know pretty damn well enough in my book. I know a lot about the Charlotte Hornets and how ass they are. I know a lot about the Brooklyn Nets.
I make it a point, guys, to go ahead and have on regular guests from around the world that cover other teams and that follow other teams. Plus, I make it my point to know exactly what's going on in the NBA so that I can inform you guys how it affects you, the NBA, and how it affects the Lakers. So I make it a point to go ahead and follow the NBA as best I can. Sharon's asking, so why do you think the Lakers did that? Sat all the starters.
Same reason why all these other teams sit their starters. Rest.
That's what Luka was asking for last night.
Luka was asking for rest.
Yeah, because in a interview last night, it was actually with DFS was talking on actually Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt was on. He's got his uniform on. He's got his clothes on. He's just all ready. He's just about ready to head out. He's talking to the press. Jared Vanderbilt, what's the most important thing for the Lakers to do between now at the end of the regular season other than stack wins to climb the standings? He said get healthy, but off camera, Luka Doncic chimed in, rest.
I don't know. I guess it's starting to become kind of an argument that's not going anywhere anymore. I think the comedy has run out. I think there's folks in here that have decided that they're gonna plant their flag on what they think. So I think the juice is gone at this point.
I got a hangnail, Joe, cutting into the salmon tonight. Do I have to go ahead and sit out 2-3 days?
Like we're peasants. We don't go by the rules of guys who are making $30-40 million in their participation. They're being enabled. They're being enabled by a weak-minded society. We have a weak-minded society, and sports usually takes on that microcosm. They've ruined the Pro Bowl in the NFL due to their pussiness. They've ruined the NBA All-Star due to their pussiness, and then they keep getting more and more enabled because you have guys like Doobie saying March is a wasted month. Okay, why March? Why not just take out February? There's less than 30 days in that month. It's a pygmy month. How about that? You want that, Doobie? You want me to take? We want to take off? You know what? Fuck all that. How about we do this? How about they play in November, December, and then half of January? How about that? How about that? And then just wait till April. You know, it's funny. Didn't they kind of do that during COVID, Gerald? And what did they say in the end, Gerald, about that little break? A lot of these people, oh, this is when a real championship. But now you want to advocate for taking a month off or advocate taking 12 games off the schedule or advocate to have 10-minute quarters? Are these guys going to get paid less money is my question. Are the owners going to want to relinquish 12 games from their schedule, 6 being at home? You guys are putting yourselves in a trap, and you're never going to get out of it because I'm going to burn your ass with this shit. Your rationale does not make any sense unless both sides agree to take a hit. I am not going to agree with something where only one side gets hit. Does that make sense?
It does.
Guaranteed contracts, but you don't want to play because you want to rest. Well, motherfucker, then you need to prorate your contract. Go ahead and rest. Oh, and this was not just this year, guys. We had a show a couple years ago where I talked about this. I was louder in that one too.
Yeah,
I was louder. I go, you all want to take a rest? Here's what you do. You make sure you take that shit out of that contract. And then you put in that salary cap where you can cover that game with another player. How about you do that? I would be more than willing. That's how they do it in baseball, right? They're gonna put someone on the roster that can cover a catcher, right? That's what they do, right? They have a backup catcher in case, let's say, Will Smith needs a break. And believe me, catchers are getting beat up in a 162, right? They get beat up. They need breaks. So what do? They have Austin Barnes, who makes a little bit of money. to cover that. Do that in the NBA then. So that when Austin Reaves, it's not going to be the equivalent of a Will Smith, but it's close. It's a little bit more manageable instead of getting Reddish to cover your ass. Having Reddish go and play is like you might as well just go get somebody from the LA Fitness at this point.
Sharon says, I don't think the players want to sit. It's the coaches and owners protecting investments. But then
bullshit.
I hear
bullshit.
I just heard it on last night's post game, Sharon, on Twitter.
That's bullshit.
Luka Doncic
more bullshit.
Rest. He just said he wants rest. So yeah, I don't. Go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry.
It's bullshit. If Luka said no, I'm playing tonight, you think JJ is going to say no? Anyways, you all made up your mind, so you guys can go ahead and live with it. You guys are going to win the argument because society is going to continue to get softer and softer, anyways. And we'll be the old guys that are yelling about how soft you are, and then we'll be dead, and then you'll end up being the same people because what's going to happen next is they're going to set a 41 game minimum, and that's it. And then let's just take the other half off just so they can get ready for the playoffs.
Luka, didn't he have 2.5 months off or 2 months off?
Luka had 2 months off. Why does he need more rest? For what? Ricky Waters. For who? For what? 2 months. You want more rest? 2 months. The season's 6 months, guys. He's missed a third of the fucking year. What do you mean rest? If he's injured, fine. But if it's for rest, that's bullshit.
Again, at this point, Joe, we're just beating a dead
horse. We're pounding our heads on the wall. The only thing that might be a positive is maybe we make it funny a little bit and entertaining. That's pretty much what we tried to do.
I know. However, that's just giving Luke Lloyd that now we should trade Luka comment. So.
No. It's now no. That's not no. But I am gonna get on with our life here and start talking about what the Lakers are gonna likely look at here before we head out on Saturday. So word around the campfire is everyone is going to be available except maybe LeBron. Is that true? Is that what you're hearing?
I'm still saying one more game for LeBron.
So LeBron's going to sit. So LeBron's going to sit. Games. So he's going to sit Saturday.
I'm just guessing on that one. I have not heard.
It makes sense.
Otherwise.
It makes sense because Chicago's not as formidable, right? So if they win, if they win on Saturday, LeBron gets another. What is that? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and there's 3 days off before they have to go to Orlando on Monday. If they win Saturday, then a 4-1 homestand is not bad, and we said that before.
Yeah, that's what you called.
Yeah, and I said that I would rather have them win Denver against Denver because it is a Western Conference matchup versus if they have to lose, I'd rather lose to Milwaukee. So everything went according to plan, and at least from our worst case scenario. That was it. A 4-1. If they can win Saturday, it's a 4-1 homestand. They lost to the team that if you had to pick a loss, that was the loss. And now they're going to go on a 4-game road trip, with the possibility of having everyone back and healthy. And the Lakers can make a really nice run here in this 4-game stretch against Orlando, who I think they are better than. Indiana will be tough. They're always tough at home. And then you play Chicago again. I think that's a good win. If they can come back 3-1 at the very least before they face Houston and Golden State at home, I think then that would also be a positive in the end. And I think if they go 3-1 in that stretch, I think they still maintain a 2 or 3 seed. But they have to win Saturday, though. Can't lose that game.
Before we head on out, Joe, I wanted to give everybody an update after day 1 of the men's basketball tournament and our bracket challenge. Hopefully you guys could see this. little bit clearer as I zoom this out. Whoever ESPN fan 8699320528 is leading because he's got the highest maximum potential for his entire bracket. Look who is in second place with 98% right after the first day, Joe. We'll see. Wonders ever cease. My goodness. It's me. My goodness. Then we got Z Money. I am Easy Flash. Ralph Jennings. JY. JY's 77%. Then you have, Robert Wheeler, Stone, EQs, and Frito Bangs. Now, Frito didn't do so hot, Joe. That's 29% of his picks were good today. Stone, man. Wow. Less than 50%. Yeah. Not good, Joe. Not good.
Doobie, the difference between losing a game when you play and relinquishing the win are two different things. Do I really have to explain that to you? Really? Especially with how shitty Milwaukee was playing the last week and a half. I didn't mess up anything. This was a quit game. They quit. They gave the win away. More so than I think I've ever seen any game be given away. I couldn't believe when I saw all the outs on Sportsnet. I couldn't believe what I was looking at. You might as well have just forfeited the game. Why did you even play? No, you messed up, Doobie. This is you can't get out of it. No matter who, you can have people out there agreeing with what you're saying, but no. If there was a tribunal, you would be wrong and you'd be sentenced to death. So sorry, it's not my call, bud. It's what it is. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, the crowds, they're clapping about what I just said.
Joe, did you tell Doobie that you told him that they played down to the competition on playback?
I told Doobie that the Lakers played down or the Milwaukee Bucks played down. I said the Milwaukee Bucks played down to the competition, yeah.
Oh my God, this is the final 10 games. Do you really want injured and exhausted players? The 82 games, best league, 82 game schedule is not something that was just introduced yesterday. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Just 82 games has been around for decades.
Look, I'm looking forward to signing off tonight and listening to my brothers, my Aussie brothers, rip each other apart on our group chat.
I'm going to be going ahead and catching the last episode of the season for Severance. It's going to be a hell of a lot more enjoyable than this game tonight. That's for damn sure. But
yes, best league. That's exactly what I said. If you rewind the tape, that's what I said. That the Lakers staff are idiots and I'm a genius. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Right, Gerald? That's a word for word. Is that what I said?
Essentially, okay. In a nutshell.
Yeah. Good. That's good. Bad on me for wanting participation as a fan. Bad on me that I pay an extra $20 a month to have Sportsnet and want to be entertained. Bad on me. I guess I'm a genius now.
I'm just going to ask this to Best League and all those guys again one last time. So if you're going to tonight's game, you bought tickets in advance because you thought you would see Luka versus Giannis or Austin Reaves versus Giannis. You're telling yourself, you know what? Lakers have had 3 pretty easy wins the last 3 games, right, Joe, on this homestand? Pretty easy, would you say? Pretty comfortable wins? Luka even had a quarter off.
No, the Lakers know everything, and I don't know anything. Sorry.
So, okay, you're going there, Best League, and you dropped maybe what, $500-600 for the game? That's what usually what's going
apparently,
right now,
apparently we have a very insensitive crowd.
Or they got money to burn.
It's apparently the fans were supposed to be psychic when they got these tickets. Yeah. Think about that for a second, guys. They They should have known, Gerald, okay? They should have known when they bought the tickets in November or during the summer that Giannis was going to be playing by himself. They should have known that then, right? Okay. You
But what if it was you, Young? What if it was you that bought the tickets? It's the point we're trying to make. Plus the fact that you could have done something else with 2.5 hours of your time.
It's a selfish thing, guys. I get it. I get society's mentality. Oh, it's not me. I don't have to deal with it. We're not supposed to care about the fans who paid that kind of money. I mean, what are we doing here? It's not gonna I'm not gonna lose sleep over it, but it is a dick move, don't you think? I think it is. I think they should be reimbursed. I think they should prorate tickets when the stars are not there. But you know they're never going to do that because they want to have their cake and eat it too. And when you keep allowing things like this to happen, hell, I had a political talk, and I'm not going to go into the details, with a friend of mine who said something that made sense. He goes, "Why are you allowing this to happen? Why are you supporting this by not saying anything?" I go, "Well, what am I going to do about it? What can I do? I guess I can do what I'm doing now with the Laker thing. Is again,
I'll tell you what, uh, you know, it again, Joe. I think we just got to end it, man, because it's just, yeah, we're just fighting uphill tonight. They don't see the forest from the trees, like I said earlier.
no, because they've enabled the enablers, folks. You are enablers. You are enablers. That's what you've done. You've created this thought process where you're making an excuse for things that are wrong to do because it doesn't affect you, right? But when someone cares, oh well, tough luck. Okay, so let's put the shoes on you now. Imagine if you spent $200 on a ticket and ended up going to watch Jemison III and Cam Reddish. How would you feel? Isn't Giannis a 2-time MVP, Gerald? And you have
Yep.
LeBron, who's a 4-time MVP, and then LeBron got hurt, so you can't really blame him for that. But isn't Luka the face of the NBA with maybe LeBron and a couple guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
How about at least some kind of way for this to be competitive? How about this, guys? Can we get at least a competitive roster? I probably would not have been upset if you had DFS and Austin in there. I would have at least said, okay, at least they're trying to win. These guys gave up. For what? So that you can create this, well, we're making sure we can make it till April. Is that really the excuse? What's going to happen if you don't make it even with this? Well, you don't have any cushion to make that work. You're jacked either way. It's a mentality too, mentality of going after it. But I think I'm out of that. I'm out of the current world here, and there's nothing else I think we can do.
Tom, if I put the link into the conversation that was live last night after the game in the locker room with Vando that Luka chimed in off camera on. So if you want to see it, there it is. He specifically said, again, I'll repeat it to you again. When Jared Vanderbilt was asked about what was the most important thing that the Lakers need to do between now and the end of the regular season, other than stack wins to climb the standings, Vando said, get healthy. Off camera, Luka Doncic chimed in too. Rest. So it's right there.
All right, we'll see. Gerald, you want to take this home?
All right, guys. Thanks so much again for joining us, coming at us, your opinions. We always do welcome it, and we'll tell you ours as well. How many games did Vando miss? Quite a few. And I guess the 18 minutes, Mr. Fanboy, was just so hard on him. Yeah, to sit out.
It's a tough life that you miss half the season and then you play 18 minutes the night before of a back to back. And come on, Gerald, have a heart, man.
Yeah,
Come on.
DFS got
Don't
it.
be
You
so
can only
mean,
play
man.
those 2 games a week. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Don't be a
Right,
mean
Joe.
person. Okay, with that. That's
I
just
guess not.
I've had it with that. You got to be better.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Joe. I'm so sorry. Young Advocate says, "Trust me, we won't mention this game when we rip off this winning streak." Okay.
Okay. You guys have some fuel that you can warm your hands with, maybe. We'll see.
So, Joe, if they win all 4 road games on this upcoming road trip, what will that take them to if they win?
If they win all 4 road wins, they probably are sitting at the number 2
But they break 500. They're at 500.
on the
It
road.
shows you, yeah, on the road.
Yeah.
Which shows you how good they are on the road.
Right. But they would likely be in the second seed, and Memphis would be one of the teams that the Lakers likely won't have to worry about the rest of the way.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, Alan. Yes, we should have 100,000 subscribers already.
Well,
so we have 100,000 people to argue with.
the day that happens, this place is going to be an inferno.
Mm-hmm.
You guys will get lost in the shuffle, right? Maybe, but we'd have to up the production value at that point. We'll still be able to get to everybody.
And on that note, it is the Lakers Fast Break. We'll be back tomorrow to go ahead and talk about what's going on with the Lakers as we get you set up for the game against the Bulls and a possible return for LeBron. If there's any updates, we'll let you know. Possible return for Rui. Possible return for all of these guys, but who knows? They might just need more rest. But we'll find out if that's the case. We'll find out. But again, if you have any questions for us, LakersFastBreak@yahoo.com, or just put it in the comments below or right there on Anchor as well. Go ahead, put it there. I've been trying to get to your comments best we can. Again, thank you for joining us. Lakers lose tonight, 118-89. They fall to 43-26, 4th place in the Western Conference. We'll be back again tomorrow. Alan says, if we only can get Bronny in here for an interview, can anyone make that happen? Joe can interview him. Yeah.
Why would Bronny want to talk to me after what I've done to him?
Yeah.
LeBron, Jeannie, and Rob will never talk to me unless I'm a person of prominence, and therefore I'd have to tell them what I've said about them at the beginning of our conversation.
There you go.
That would be something they'd have to forgive me on, which I don't think that would happen.
And on that note, we'll be back tomorrow with more opinions on what's going on around the NBA and, of course, with the Lakers as well. Good luck, everyone, tomorrow on the second day of March Madness. And for everyone out there, we'll be back tomorrow night to wrap things up in a nice, tidy little bow right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast.